Yo, it's the Ghetto Linguist, and I'm back with another video. Let me readjust this shit right now. There we go. Yo, it's the Ghetto Linguist, and I'm back with another video. Look, you know I'm studying Thai, all that good stuff. You know, this is week 24, I believe. I could be off, could be wrong. I don't know what's up with human beings and their obsession for translation. Like, that kills me. I mean, in the face of all the data that suggests that translating is not the best way to learn a new language, people still have this thing that makes them just like, I want to translate, I need to translate, or something like that. Listen, I'm on week 24. Just an update. I'm killing it out here. My Thai is getting a lot better. I'm speaking to people. I'm speaking to people everywhere I go. I'm talking about things, all right? But now I'm in a little town. Nobody really lives here. And this the only two foreigners like me and this Bhutanese girl who I work with. Shout out to Bhutan. And she lived in Thailand for a while, 3 years or something like that. So her Thai is pretty nice. And she's a teacher as well. And we've spoken about the idea of translation, but I don't think anybody hates translation as much as I do. Like, golly, if you find somebody that hates translation as much as me, send them my way. I hate translation. And I talked with her about it, and we talked about the stupidity of translation. Now, obviously, she's not as cued in linguistically as I am. And there are arguments about how translation may be okay and blah, blah, blah. Don't listen to those people. All right. She's not as cued into linguistics as I am. And it surprises me because we sat and had a conversation about how terrible translation is and how terrible it is to, be helping someone when they're trying to learn a language instead of just letting them figure it out on their own. And then the next day we go out and we're walking around and there's some people and I'm just like, man, I wonder if they have food. And I'm the kind of guy, I just run up to you and talk to you. And that's one of the things that helps me with languages. And she's more chill, like she's more of a listener kind of person. So I'm like, well, let's figure out if there's food. I go over there, I start talking to them with my beat up Thai, you know what I mean? And, they start talking back, blah, 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 blah. But they look over at her, kind of, because, she's Asian. And so they're just like, oh, maybe she's Thai, blah, 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 which is a pretty common thing. If you run up to somebody who's speaking beat up Thai, they'll look over at the person who they think is Thai and respond to them. And her having the personality she has, she's just like background kind of person, even though her Thai is like good. So she's looking at me, I'm looking at her just like, hey, they're talking to you, go ahead and talk, I know my Thai is shit. So, I'm down to listen. But she doesn't want to take that leading role of speaking. So she just kind of looks at me and I'm a little bit confused because I'm like, hey, they're talking to you, just talk to them. It's okay. And then she opts just to translate what they're saying to me. I'm like, yo, don't translate. Either talk to them or don't talk to them, but don't translate. And she's confused, like, what? I'm like, we just had this conversation. You know how I feel about translation. Don't do it. People really don't understand. Like they'll hear me, but they won't comprehend what I'm saying when I say I don't translate. And I've had this happen so many times. I had one of the people at Language Exchange with, she's like, why do you do this? Why are you so serious about not translating? And then a few minutes later, she'll talk about, man, that's like, I'm always in my brain. My brain is always like translating through everything before I can answer. I'm like, well, that's why. You see, if you build a foundation on not translating, just taking it for what it is, it will take you longer to be able to start talking to people and blah, 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 and all that good stuff. Or there will be countless times where you have no clue what people are talking about. But if you build that foundation on not translating, once you do get to the point where you can speak, your brain doesn't have to go back and forth between English and whatever language you're studying. Your brain, it will be just divided, English and then whatever language. And that's how my brain is with Vietnamese. When I speak Vietnamese, I don't think in English. I don't have to think in English. I don't know what it is in English. I don't care what it is in English. It's like if you want to say fat, you say fat. If you want to say skinny, you say skinny. When someone says fat, you don't have to like in your brain fat, skinny. You don't have to do that. They just say fat and that's fat. Or they say skinny and that's skinny. You don't have to translate fat to skinny or skinny to fat or anything like that. And that's how it is like when I speak Vietnamese. I don't have to translate like the Vietnamese word fat to the English word fat, or the Vietnamese word lazy to the English word lazy, because they're just two different words. Just like how fat and overweight are two different words. They might have slightly similar meanings, but they are two different words. That's how it is from in my brain when I'm speaking a different language. It's just that. It's just that. Vietnamese has this word. Yes, that word is similar to an English word, but it's not that English word, you know? And anyways, I don't know how to stress it. Translation. I'm going on a translation rant again. Here I go. Anyways, it's week 24. My Thai is getting a lot better. I'm feeling really confident about this whole Thai thing now. We are about 6 months in. I should probably drop another project. I publicly spoke in front of like 80 teachers at the school. I publicly spoke Thai. So that's a big one. And I'm just brushing over it like it's nothing. That's a huge milestone. I stood in front of 80 teachers and I publicly spoke. Didn't say much, just like introduction and stuff like that. But that's a huge thing. Huge thing. So it is week 24 and I made my first public speaking. So this is the Ghetto Linguist. This is my video for today. I'll see you in the future. Peace.
Rather slay a dragon than sit and watch it happen. I'm on another level, man, I'm spilling out the ghetto, bitch. What's a couple quotes if no one know you said them? Slay a couple dragons, but no one know you did it. You don't owe me shit except a little